We're just making sure we keep our edge. No matter who we play against, we just got to play the same way and be us.
You went for 19 tonight in less than 19 minutes played. What was working for you personally out there offensively?
I was just coming out and playing. Teammates found me when I was open. I was just doing what I can do to help the team win.
So I guess kind of as a player perspective, kind of what did you take away from tonight heading into this Saturday?
Just no matter who the opponent is, you got to come out and beat me and just play the game how I always do.
So I guess how do you kind of feel? You kind of mentioned it already, but 4 games in a week is not easy. So how do you kind of rest and kind of reset for a quick turnaround on Saturday?
I mean, if we would have went to the Bahamas, we would have played
Right.
3 games in 3 days. So just a matter of the mindset that we have. So.
How have y'all handled, a week ago, you're supposed to be, a nice little trip to the Bahamas, play some basketball. What was it like to have that taken away?
I mean, with COVID, anything can happen, so we just making sure everybody stayed as a family, letting everybody know anything can happen. So just we got more games left in the season, and that's all that matters.
We're on the Bahamas.
You're right.
And how do you handle a game like me? You played, these 3 games here. You play some D3 teams. You guys should handle them. What has been the approach of these games?
Treat every game the same. No matter who it is, you just got to be us. This is going to help us prepare for games later on in the season. The team we just played was a good team, but it's going to help us prepare for better teams that are going to come.
Just first thing, just talk about that win and, again, coming out of that 3 games in 6-day stretch with 3 wins.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I want to say is I want to credit my team and my staff. I mean, and I want to thank, Coach Pickleman at McMurray, Coach Marwin at Shriner, and Coach Grahn, who's a longtime friend of mine at the University of Dallas. We were supposed to play 3 games in the Bahamas, and my staff was preparing for those, UNC Charlotte, Toledo, Jacksonville State, and then it all got flipped upside down. And we needed these guys to take these games, for McMurray to reschedule that game, and for Dallas to step in. We weren't even playing them 3 days ago, and so they played a game last night, and so they took this as a favor to us to help us. And so I want to thank those guys, and I want to thank our staff, because our staff did a great job of turning the page and jumping into 3 brand new opponents just like that, and that's hard to do. No matter who you're playing, that's extremely hard to do. And then I thought our players handled it with a great deal of maturity. I did not choose to play this game tonight. I asked the players if they wanted to play this game, and they told me they did. And so they came out and obviously did what they were supposed to do. I was a little disappointed in the first half, just with some of our defensive intensity, because they know what I expect from them on the defensive end of the floor. But they turned the page. That just shows the maturity of this team. I think in the second half they did a great job.
What do you want to do with you're playing these D3 teams, and what do you want to get done playing these games? Is this about trying to figure out the chemistry and where all the pieces fit?
Yeah, we went 3 games and not one player played over 20 minutes in any of those games. That's extremely hard to do. I don't know if I've ever had a game like, had a stretch like that in my career as a coach. And so we got to play a lot of guys, a lot of minutes. Some guys that did not get a lot of reps when we were playing the likes of Utah and Texas A&M and UTA on the road. And so those guys got a ton of minutes. And I think we saw some guys, especially tonight, finally start to find their rhythm. Because that's hard to do when you don't get a lot of minutes in a game. And so we know that we need some other guys to step up and play if we're going to win in the WAC. And we expect to compete for a WAC championship. And to do that, we need more guys to jump on board. And I feel like we've maybe found a couple guys in this 3 games in 5 day stretch that can help us.
So how did they handle once they found out we're not going to get to go to the Bahamas?
I think I told them this last week. I think they were more disappointed about not getting to play that McMurray game last Friday, because that was the home opener, than they were the Bahamas, which surprised me. But these guys love to play in front of their fans. They love to play in front of their classmates. And so they were super excited to get back and to play against somebody in this gym. And we love the Teague Center, man. Teague Center is awesome. And so they were disappointed. Of course, they were disappointed they didn't get to go to the Bahamas, but they knew the Bahamas was a business trip. We weren't going out there to jump in the ocean and play in the sand. So I think they knew it. They were disappointed, but they were glad that we were able to get some games together. And I think they handled themselves really well this week.
And do you have a better idea of what this team is going to be?
Our team?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're going to be a team exactly what you see every night. I think we're going to championship plays all over the floor. Tobias Cameron's diving on the floor for a loose ball when we're up 45 points with a minute and a half to go, and that's who we are. And so you're going to see that every single night. Some nights the ball's not going to go in. I don't know if we've scored 100 points in my 8 years here. That might be the first game we've ever, I don't know. But I mean, the defense is always going to be there. And if we can play defense and we can score off our defense, then we're going to have a chance to win every game we play.
So you guys broke 100 points tonight for the first time this season. I mean, how does that feel for you as a head coach? I mean, getting your offense kind of together in a really strong performance.
Everybody says I'm a defensive coach, right, man? We scored 108 points, man. But I'll tell you what, I do think, though, we scored 27 points off of our turnovers, and that's our defense is what allows us to do that. And then I think everybody saw what if I can get Logan on the floor, Logan McLaughlin on the floor, our offense gets better. He knows that. We know that. Everybody in the stands knows that. But he's got to continue. You know, he's took some steps defensively in these 3 games, I think, and that's what he needs to do to stay on the floor. And I think he knows that, like I said. But that's what's helped us offensively is being able to play him and Stevie and some really good offensive players. But I'm just happy that we went out there, we competed, we executed, and we like I said, we did not take these guys for granted. We respected our opponent, and we went out there and we played ACU basketball.
Yeah, so I think McLaughlin shot about 50% from the three-point line tonight, but your team led pretty much the entire game and never really looked back, so kind of touched on it a little bit. But what do you think contributed to that? Yeah. To leading the entire game. Yeah, I think just going out there and playing the way we play, you know. And again, being able to play a lot of guys. They were only able to play like 8 or 9 guys, I think, until the end. We were playing 15, you know, or 13, all the way up until, I think we had 13 guys in the game by the 10-minute mark, you know, in the first half. And so, you know, they were a little fatigued. We had some fresh legs out there. That allowed us to stretch the lead out a little bit. But, they were not going away. They were guarding us. They actually turned us over for a while. We looked up at maybe the second media, and we had more turnovers than they did. We had less offensive rebounds than they did. And that's because that's a well-coached team. And so, but we were able to turn a page, you know, and start playing the way we're supposed to play. So you've got Incarnate Word on Saturday. They're 1-7 on the year after their win tonight. You mentioned it a little bit about those fresh legs. So kind of how fresh is your team feeling, I guess, heading into this weekend? Well, that was really important. We wanted to make sure that if we could build leads in these games, and we did not want anybody to play more than 20 minutes in each game. And so, but that's what these guys do, man. They're 18 to 22-year-old guys, man, that they can play. They can play 5 games in 5 days if you really want them to. But Incarnate Word is going to be a challenge for us on Saturday. They've always been tough for us to guard. The way they play offensively does not match well with how we play defensively. So we're going to have to really lock in the next 3 days and prepare for them. They're extremely well coached, but our guys know that. We've had, knockdown dragouts with these guys the last few years since Coach Cunningham's been there, and I would expect nothing less on Saturday. So you get 3 wins and 3 home games as a head coach. How do you feel about that so far?
I'm just happy we won, man. You know, to me, I've said this before, man. Coaching's overrated. It's all about the players, and the players. I want these guys. We have guys that came back for their extra year. They did not come back to be average. They came back to be great, and I want them. Every win we get is for them. You know, and I'm just excited about that. But I would be really happy if we could get another one on Saturday and then another one the next week. But I will tell people this, man, that we have some unbelievable basketball teams coming into the Teague Center over the next 3 weeks, man, and NCAA tournament type basketball, man. And we need all the support we can get, man. We need anybody that has time. It doesn't cost a lot to come into these games, man. Come. If you know me, call me. I'll put you on the pass list. Just don't tell our new athletic director that, okay?